Hey everybody, it's May 4th, 2017, and this is the Chuck Baker vlog number 369, and it's Thursday, and I hope everybody's doing good today. Here it's kind of rainy and stormy, but fortunately I'm inside, but I'll have to be getting out a little later on today, so maybe I won't get washed away. There's been quite a bit of flooding around in my area. I hope everybody is being safe if you're in a flood area and getting a lot of rain. Take the necessary precautions there and stay safe. And how the heck is everybody today? I really want to know. Put a note down in the comments there. Let me know how you're doing and what's going on. Today I have 5 stories to talk to you about, and let's just get to it. First one here is Rosie the Riveter receives diploma. This woman, she's 97 years old, and she was in the 11th grade back when the Depression had just started, so she had quit school to help out her family. And then after that, World War II started, so she joined the war effort, putting rivets in. That's where Rosie the Riveter came in. So she did that, and then afterwards, after the war was all over, she thought about going back to school, but she didn't want to have to go and be with people a lot younger than she was. She didn't want to put herself through that, so she never did go back to school. But she'd always regretted that she didn't get her diploma. So now at 97, her high school presented her with an honorary high school diploma. So after all these years, she finally did get her diploma, and with her family there and everything. And there's a little video there that you can watch. Shows you all about it. Next story here is a man ticketed for warming up his car loses in court. Okay, if you're thinking of going to Roseville, Michigan, you might want to think about that again. This man, his car was sitting in his own driveway, and he started it to warm it up, and he went back in his house, and when he came out, there was a ticket. Well, he went to court to fight the ticket, and he lost in court. The city had made an ordinance that it was illegal to leave a car running unattended, and their rationale for that is that it makes it easier for a thief to steal a car. Well, you know what? If there's so much car theft and crime in this town that they have to make an ordinance that you can't leave your car unattended when it's running, I don't think I want to go there. Really? Come on. If it's that bad that you got to make an ordinance that you can't leave your car running, then there's a really bad problem. So I won't be going to that town. No, let's just not even consider that. Next story here is Russian bombers, fighter jets fly near Alaska, prompting Air Force escort. A couple of Russian fighters and a Russian bomber had flown near Alaska, and the Air Force intercepted them and led them back to U.S. airspace. Now, the Russian fighters weren't armed, and it's been reported that this is the 5th time that Russian aircraft have come near Alaska. So I don't know what's going on with that. There's no telling, the way things with the U.S. and Russia are going now. Don't know what's going on, but if anything develops more about this story, I'll be sure and let you know. Then the next story here is woman hit by stray bullet while sitting in her seat at a St. Louis Cardinals game. This woman, she was at a Cardinals game, and she was sitting there, and she felt a pain on her arm, and she took her jacket off, and there was an abrasion on her arm. So she went to the aid station and they patched it up, and then they started looking around her seat for anything, and they found a bullet. And at the same time, there was a report of shots fired like a mile away from the stadium, and police were out there, and they think that this bullet came from there, from a mile away, that it was shot up in the air, and it landed in the stadium, hitting this woman. Well, I've been to Bush Stadium many times, and I've never even thought about a stray bullet coming around. Now, like the article says, you got to be aware of foul balls coming your way, and sometimes maybe even the occasional bat. But you don't really think about a bullet when you're watching a baseball game. So, I don't know. I don't know what the world's coming to. It's just getting kind of crazy out there, people. Um, and then the last story here. And this is pretty disturbing, let me tell you. Man without a country. Revered theater director has to prove he belongs. This man, Reuben Kempen, immigrated from Ireland in 1962 when he was 10 years old, and he became a U.S. citizen in 1982, and he's been a theater director uh, for theater teacher in public school for years. And ever since he became a citizen, he's been getting the notices from IRS about how much he'll get when he retires, and all that stuff. He's got a U.S. passport, he's got a Social Security card, and he's got his naturalization papers. Well, when he put in his papers to retire in February, he submitted his U.S. passport, his Social Security card, and his naturalization papers when he became a citizen. The IRS came back and said that his papers couldn't be processed. For some reason, they don't think that he's a U.S. citizen, and they're not going to give him retirement benefits. And, you know, they might even try and deport him. Now, how stupid is that? The man's been here 55 years. He's worked here. He's been a citizen since 1982. But still, he's an immigrant. Imagine that. It's not like other U.S. Immigrants have been deported. They wouldn't let that one girl come in, and she was born here, had a passport, born in Oklahoma. And she came back from Syria visiting relatives, and they wouldn't let her in. So, people, before you leave this country, I would think really hard about it, because, it doesn't matter if you were born in this country, if you've got the proof that you were born in this country. If you leave this country, there's a really big chance they're not going to let you back in. Okay? So, I would just really consider not leaving the country at all, because, you might find yourself out and have to prove you're an actual citizen of this country. And how are you going to do that if they won't accept your documentation? I mean, I've said before, maybe people should start traveling with their birth certificate. But, they may not even accept that. So I don't know what to tell you. Um, just don't leave the country. I have even told friends of mine that wanted to visit the U.S., not even to try it, because I doubt that they would be able to get in, really. It don't matter what you got. It don't matter if you have a visa. It don't matter if you have a DACA. It doesn't matter if you have a green card. It don't matter. They're just so fixated on this. You're an immigrant and you got to go. So you're going to go. one way or the other. It doesn't matter if you're born here or not. You're going to go. Well, okay. That's my opinion, people. So what do you think? Put a note down there in the comments section. Maybe we can get a discussion going. And as always, all of these stories that I have talked with you about today are on my Google Plus page, and a link to my page is down in the description. So let me know. Am I crazy? I don't think I'm crazy. This is getting ridiculous, people. Really. You can't even leave the country without fear of not being let back in, even if you're a U.S. citizen. So, hey, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to keep my butt right here. So, that's it, everybody. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up. And also, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And check out my social media sites, G+, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you missed yesterday's vlog, just click on the image there. And please check out my website, the Chuck Baker homepage at chuckbaker.org. Till tomorrow, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.